course, NAS are the letters that spell.
It's the Nick Angelo Show right here on WLIT Long Island tonight. This weekend's episode, I'm going to be giving you a Survivor Series WarGames preview, as that is this weekend. We're going to talk some rivalries in college football, but first, folks, happy Thanksgiving. How's your holiday? You got a lot of leftovers left? I do. I got a fridge full of leftovers. I love leftovers. It's like my favorite food. I don't know. I'm a weird guy like that. But how was your Thanksgiving? Did you spend it with family? Did you cook? Did you watch football all day? Did you get in an argument? Are you now divorced? How was it? Are you out there shopping on Black Friday? I feel like that's kind of more of an online thing nowadays. Is there still lines? I remember when people would line up after dinner on Thursday so they could go get a TV on Friday. How sad is that? Do people still do that on Black Friday? All the sales? I mean, Amazon starts Black Friday sales literally like in October. So kind of the day after is like a thing of the past, if you ask me. But anyway, I am not here to talk about capitalism and commerce. How was Thanksgiving? Do we have big Thanksgiving fans out there? I love Thanksgiving. I mean, sitting around watching football and stuffing my face all day without the judgment? Oh, yeah, sign me up. I want to give a shout out to Shannon, who wrote in and said, "Hey, Nick, did you have a pumpkin pie, or is that only for the 4th of July?" Thank you, Shannon. Clearly, you're a listener. As for those who don't know, I always ask, why is pumpkin pie only for Thanksgiving? We never have pumpkin pie any other time, and we don't have a pumpkin pie on the 4th of July. And then I started a whole thing. Now we do 4th of July pumpkin pie. And I know the answer is that pumpkins are in season at this time, but we do crazy things. We've sent a man to the moon. We can have a pumpkin pie in summer, okay? But to answer your question, Shannon, no, I have not had a pumpkin pie yet. I'm kind of upset about it. I'm kind of upset about the pumpkin pies, but I might go out and find one so I can eat that with my turkey sandwiches, because that is what you do. How was your dinner? What did you cook? I saw somebody say they cooked a chicken for Thanksgiving, and I came to a screeching halt. Why? A chicken? I like chicken, but I also like turkey. Are there people out there who don't like turkey, but they like chicken? I can't imagine that's a thing. Now, I know there's probably some, we got some Italians out there in that Long Island eating lasagna for Thanksgiving, and they probably don't even talk like that. I'm just being funny. I know lasagna for Thanksgiving. That's fine. People cook up steaks, and they go the red meat route, or they smoke a turkey, or they do all kinds of stuff. Ham's not really a Thanksgiving meal. Yeah, chicken. I know chicken that goes along with the turkey because you have a huge family. But who likes chicken but doesn't like turkey? I know turkey's like a dry meat, but chicken's not much better. Is it? Are there chicken lovers and turkey haters out there? Because I want to meet you. I want to know what goes on behind those eyes. They had chicken, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. All the usual suspects, and probably green beans out of a can, which is disgusting. But a chicken, not a turkey. I am just so baffled by that. I like chicken. I like turkey. I like prime rib. I like pizza. I don't know. What do you want me to do? What did you guys have? Message me. Message show. Download the app. Don't cost nothing. WLIT.fm. Do you know this show is brought to you now by the WWE shop, by the way, for those just joining us who don't know? If you go to WLIT.fm/WWE shop, you will get a special discount code that you can use at the WWE shop. We will be talking WarGames later on in the show. Thanksgiving dinner, leftovers. Did you stuff your face? Did you watch football all day long? Here's the thing about football all day long Thanksgiving. You got to pick your battles. Got to pick your battles. I got to watch the first game uninterrupted, second game up until the end, and then I had to forego the third one. My wife, she can only take so much. But then we watched Stranger Things, which, get ready. We're going to talk about that when I come back from the break. But, oh, boy. Anyway, here's the thing about football all day for you fantasy football players out there. It is a tough, tough day. Now we got a game on Friday, which, by the way, I am recording this Friday morning. So, that's kind of, how the holidays shook out. But that's a lot of tough decisions. You got 6 teams with players that you got to make a decision on. And you don't even get to see what's going on with the rest of your team until Sunday. I was going to come in and talk about how upsetting it was to watch Jahmyr Gibbs go absolutely off last week. He had one of the greatest fantasy football performances of all time, and your boy has some stock in him. And you know what happened? I still lost to the worst team in the league. How is that possible? We talked last week. What's worse than watching your players do well or bad on Thursday night? Having one of the greatest performances of all time and still losing to the worst team. That's pretty bad. And then I can't even capitalize on him on Thursday because the Lions stink. Do the Lions stink? Are we grouping them in the mix with all the teams of I can't tell if they're good or not, like the rest of the league? The Cowboys, was confident the Cowboys stunk, but now here we are. Chiefs might not even make the playoffs. Speaking of running backs that you can't count on anymore, Rico Dowdle, I got him on my bench for this Sunday. Tell me if I'm wrong. Message me. I can't trust in that anymore. He had 3 tremendous games in a row. Then they gave him the starting role pretty much and said, you're not going to split time. And he hasn't done much with it. And I'm not saying it's on him. The team stinks. But they're in the hunt. College football is always a fun time this time of year. You know what I mean? We got some of the rivalries. I think the Egg Bowl is on right now as I record this. Does anybody actually give a crap about the Egg Bowl besides Lane Kiffin and his whole entire fate of his job? What a wacky scenario that is. What is going on? What is going on in Mississippi? Well, you know what? I don't want to know. But I don't understand how you can have one of the best seasons that you've ever had, and then the next day or while that's happening, you're like, you know what? We might fire you. Florida's offering you some money. I don't know. I don't get that at all. We talked about that a little bit last week, but besides, I don't want to talk about the Egg Bowl. No one cares about the Egg Bowl. We got Georgia Tech, a rivalry that a lot of people don't really consider a rivalry because they're not in the same conference, but they're in the same state, and apparently they hate each other. And this year it should be a good game. Once again, Friday evening. So by the time you're listening to this, it's already happened. So maybe it's been a blowout. But Georgia Tech's got actually a good squad this year. Usually this game is boring as hell. Speaking of boring as hell and rivalry games, Indiana and Purdue, that shouldn't be too much. Then you got a really good one in Texas A&M and Texas. That's always fun. When the Texas teams are good, that's always fun. And then you got a late night game on Friday, Arizona State. Usually those 2 teams stink, or maybe one of them is good, but both of them are ranked 25 and 20, which your boy's going to be doing something tonight. Well, that's Friday. See how that goes. Maybe I'll have to do a little ad-lib tomorrow and slide it into the episode because all those games end up being terrible. But then Saturday, the game. I mean, you want to talk about a rivalry that's so intense and good. It doesn't even have a name. It's just the game. Ohio State at Michigan. Michigan beat Ohio State last year. Ohio State went on to win the national championship, and to most Ohio State fans, it wasn't good enough because they didn't beat Michigan on the way. Ryan Day has taken Ohio State to the playoffs every year, or to the playoffs every year. He's undefeated. They're ranked number 1. Started the season at 1, continue to be at 1. Never having even came close to a potential loss this year. He's on the hot seat. He might get fired if he loses to Michigan. I mean, I'm kind of rooting for that. Not anything personal against Ryan Day, and this isn't like my Penn State coming out, but I want to see that. That's got to be the moment college football jumps the shark, right? I don't want college football to jump the shark, but something's got to change after that. If a guy who is nothing but a winner, how many games has he lost in his tenure? 6? Defending national champion, completely undefeated, been number 1 all season, lose to Michigan on the road, and you might get fired? Now, I don't know how true those rumors are, but I don't doubt it. What an incredible, stressful situation that's got to be. Who would ever want that job? Who would ever want that job? You're setting a bar way too high. Maybe that's something that we need to have happen. Ryan Day is our, unfortunate for him, our sacrificial coach that we give to the gods of college football, where people have to stop and be like, wait a minute, this has gone too far. Lost to Michigan last year, then wins the national championship. People are still unhappy. Unbelievable. You know which game I do miss? The backyard brawl between West Virginia and Pitt. They don't really do that much anymore because they're no longer in the same conference, but it used to be fun growing up in Pittsburgh, having a game that meant something. But, they don't do it. They don't do it anymore. You got a Vanderbilt Tennessee game that's going to be a good game, but I don't consider that a rivalry. The only real big one that's left in this weekend is Alabama Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Auburn hasn't really been that good in the last couple years, making the Iron Bowl all that much fun and fanfare and important. But I'll tell you what, when those two teams are good and they're battling for a national championship spot next to the game, man, the Iron Bowl's there. And this one is almost as bad as Michigan and Ohio State, because have you seen the documentary where the big old loser from Auburn, he's from Alabama, and he goes to the square in town of Auburn and he poisoned the tree. Like, these are like, I don't know what kind of trees. I'm not a botanist, but they're big tree, big. How is that a type of tree? Big. They're a tree that is rare. And what Auburn does when they win, they TP it themselves. They TP their own trees, which I don't know if they understand how that works. But hey, it's the South. I'm not going to judge you. But this loser, went when no one was looking and drilled poison into it. So now the trees are going to die, and they want to press federal charges against them. And you know what? I think they should. Talk about having something happen so we can kind of hit the brakes and reassess and change some things about college football. Yeah. In fact, let's execute him. Let's hang him from that tree. What kind of loser do you got to be? And I guarantee you he is not an Alabama grad. He's just some loser who has nothing else in his life but Alabama football. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nick, you're a diehard sports fan. You literally tell us all the time how you let sports affect your emotional well-being and that you shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. And you're right. However, there is a line. I watch college football, a bunch of kids playing a game. If they lose, the rest of my weekend's ruined. Okay. But I'm not committing crimes. I'm not going out and destroying nature and committing felonies and poisoning things. There's a little bit of a difference. If your end all be all is a college football program that you didn't even go to, you're a loser. Get something else in your life. You can still love it as much as you do, but add a little something else. You hate a school that much that, look, rivalries are great. I strongly dislike a lot of teams, but when it comes down, I'm not going to murder somebody or poison something. What kind of idiotic behavior is that? Once again, it's the South. What do you want me to do? I'm pretty sure no one in Alabama listens to the Long Island radio network, right? Long Island Tonight in Alabama. Anybody from Alabama out there? Hey, y'all. And then you got UCLA at USC, which used to be really cool in the 80s, but now UCLA sucks. And when was the last time UCLA was good? Like, good. I mean, they've had okay seasons. USC is kind of building themselves back up after the early 2000s domination they had. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I just got done complaining about everything. It sounds like I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that maybe the coaching carousel at Ohio State shouldn't be open if the guy loses a game while winning national championships, and that Auburn fan or the Alabama fan who poisoned a tree, and he's just a loser. But I love the rivalry. Hey, you know what? He's not a loser. I appreciate the passion. At least you're passionate about something. How about that? I'll put a positive spin on it. At least he cares enough about something. So good for him. That's what it's all about, folks. Be passionate about your passion. That should be a merch store. Be passionate about your passion. You can't get that at WWE Shop, but you can get a discount code by going to WLIT.fm/WWE Shop, and you will get your discount code so you can get your WWE merch. Yeet! Be passionate about your passion. Oh, buddy. Thanksgiving Day Parade, by the way. I've gotten to the age where I don't know a single person. Yeah, Busta Rhymes was hanging out with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Lil Jon showed up. But then other than that, I have no idea who the hell any of these people are. Apparently, there is a movie, TV show, music group on Netflix called K-Pop Demon Hunters. And that's like New Kids on the Block type stuff. That's how old I am. K-Pop Demon Hunters. Okay. Look, I'm not knocking it. It's not for me. I'm not a child. I don't watch the Netflix for that. I just thought it was an odd name. That's what they are. They're a K-pop group that hunts demons, like as a TV or as like a movie show or as a movie show. What is wrong with me? Too much turkey and chicken. A K-pop band, 3 ladies who hunt demons as a series. Is that what it is? Or are they just a band who has a pretty awesome name? Could you imagine if they were just a pop band called the K-Pop Demon Hunters? Now imagine if it was a country band of like 5 old white guys called K-Pop Demon Hunters. Now it's just racist. Who the hell are the K-Pop Demon Hunters? That's what I'm trying to figure out. The parade went nuts. Yeah, you couldn't pay me to go down to that parade. I can't stand being around Herald Square generally. Like going into the Garden or going to Macy's, which I've only done once because why would I ever go in there? Or just being in that area, 34th Street, Herald Square. It is always busy and congested and just miserable. Then you block off roads and add a couple million people? No, thank you. I couldn't, even if I was in the parade, which why would I be? Can we work on that? Can we get the Nick Angelo show a float in the parade? A giant balloon of me? I mean, after what I ate yesterday, I feel like a giant balloon. I'm going to take a quick break, play you some music, and when we get back, I'm going to talk about Stranger Things. I'm going to do my best to avoid any spoilers for those who haven't watched it yet. It's only been out for, 48 hours, but we're going to talk about it because I watched it and I need to talk about it. Also, I judged the Battle of the Bands last weekend, and I want to tell you all about that. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to try to do this spoil-free. No spoiler alerts, which, by the way, I cannot stand. Add this to my Mount Rushmore of things I cannot stand. Right next to holes in my socks. Yeah. If I find a little hole in my sock, I rip it completely apart and scream, never again! Never going to get tricked into putting that sock on my foot again. Anyway, people who say no spoilers, or you say, oh, I haven't seen that yet. No spoilers. Don't say anything. Right? That's what you say. Oh, I just saw Stranger Things. You say, no, I haven't seen it yet. Don't say anything. Okay. And this is what they do. Okay. All right. I'm not going to say no spoilers. But let's just say it's going to make you cry. Do you not understand how spoiling things work? Well, I didn't tell you anything. I didn't give you any specifics. Why would I cry? Obviously, someone's going to die. Obviously, a beloved character is going to die or something. That is a spoiler. Oh, I'm not going to say anything, but I think you're going to really enjoy that little blast from the past. Hey, man, why would you do that? Now I know that is called spoiling something. Just because you're not coming straight out and being like, yeah, Bruce Willis is dead. Like, that isn't just how, like, any sort of clue, anything. People are smart. They can put two and two together. They can realize, hey, why did that make you cry? Oh, because you're a big, I was going to say a word that I probably shouldn't say. You know what I mean? That's what a spoiler is. I hate that. I hate it. Don't say anything. Seriously, don't say a word. Don't even look at me. In fact, delete my number from your phone until I see it, and then we can be friends again. With that being said, let's talk about Stranger Things. I'm going to try. I'm giving you fair warning, okay? I'm going to try not to spoil anything. So, what I am going to say is, I enjoyed it. 4 episodes that came out. I will recommend that you watch the recap. Did I? No. Here's why. Have you been on Netflix? I think it's pretty much a Netflix thing. I don't know if other streaming services do this as much as Netflix does. But you hit play, and then all of a sudden, the recap comes up, and there's an option to skip recap, but you're not ready. Hold on. You hit pause. I'm not ready yet. Wait. Let me go get my snack mix and my water and maybe a blanket, because I'm going to get all nice and cozy for this. And now, okay, when I'm ready, hit me with that recap. Then you hit play, and the recap just disappears. Am I just an idiot? I mean, that could be, look, both things could be true, but I hate that. It happens way too often. So we missed the recap that the actual series provided. So going into it, we're a little like, what the hell? Who was that? I don't remember that. But things you kind of put it all back together. And if you've gotten this far, you got a pretty good idea. And they do a decent job of kind of reminding you of the big things. There might be a little subtle couple things here and there. I might actually go watch one of these incredibly long recaps on YouTube telling me all their fan theories and whatnot now that I've seen it. But I would recommend that you watch the recap just so you're not just, who was that again? Wait, where was this guy from? How do we know them? What happened to them? Are they alive? Like, I'm telling you that, because you'll the first episode, half the time you're just going to be trying to remember everything. But with that being said, it is pretty good. And also, we've gotten so far into the series that the idea of like, wow me with this and that, of, the creative writing and what, like, who cares now? Like, this is it. I'm all in. I started from the beginning. I've watched every single episode. I'm in. I'm in. I'm not going to be like, oh, that was dumb. I don't know if I like this show anymore. No, it's too late for that. If you're watching it, you're in. And if you're going in with that attitude, then stop it. It's like John Cena's last run. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is. Putting a nice little cherry on top of all the entertainment that is provided for over the last, almost 10 years now. It is wild, though, that the filmmaking process has changed in such time. There's a couple scenes. Once again, I'm going to try my hardest. An action scene. Yes, this show has action in it. You knew that. But just the cinematic way of filming it is pretty awesome. And I don't think they were doing stuff like that when the show premiered. So just watching the evolution of the movie making is actually pretty impressive too. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, everyone's back. Everyone's back from that I remember from the last season. But it's a good one. It's good. It's 4 episodes. Then the next part comes out on Christmas, and then the last part will come out on New Year's, which I think is brilliant. I believe it's 4, 4, and 4, or maybe it was like 4, and then one big long episode and another big long. I don't know. I don't know how that. I try to avoid spoilers, so I don't look stuff up. But yeah, it was about 4 episodes. Pretty good stuff. I highly recommend. And I also will say this, and this isn't tipping anything off, but I do enjoy, and remember, next week we're going to talk about this in depth. So you got a whole week to get these 4 episodes in. I do like that by the time this is all happening within the story arc, all the characters are just like, yeah. Like the idea of like, what's that? Oh no, is that real? Oh, that can't be true. I don't believe you. Like, no, it's like, guys, we've been through it all already. We've been in the upside down. We've seen demons. We've seen demigorgons. We've seen giant things in the sky that make the thunder orange. Like, you've seen it all. You've killed things with spiked bats and flamethrowers. Nothing's really going to surprise you at this point. And they do a good job of that. The characters are just, they are who they are. It is what it is. Although they are still going to school, which I don't know if I'd be able to do that. But hey, listen, I'm not here to nitpick. Like I said, I'm this far in. Do whatever you want. Make them all have horns growing out of their head for all I care. I'm thoroughly enjoying the last season of a show that I really enjoyed since the beginning. And I'm all in for it. And I'm 4 episodes deep in the final season. And I'm telling you, watch it. We'll get into a little bit more details and theories and ideas next week when it's not so fresh. Because that's a little, it'd be wrong of me to come in and be like, hey, guys, you see this episode? Blah, 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 blah. It's only been out for 48 hours. Most of you have family that you had to argue with over dinner. I know, trying to be as nice as possible. But next week, we'll talk more about it. Like I said, going into break, I judged a Battle of the Bands last week at a bar here in Astoria, Queens at Murphy's. Friday night was the cover band section, and then Saturday and Sunday were the original bands. And let me tell you something. I was highly impressed by the amount of talent that I saw. There were so many good bands that I was just blown away. By the end of it, I was like, should we just pick a name out of a hat? Because I don't know who should win. How do you judge this? I went in, this is how I judged it. First off, you got to be good. You got to be good at what you're doing. So like technique. Can you play the guitar well? Is your drummer on time? Is your bass on time? Are you guys tight? Are the songs good? Now, they might not be my favorite genre of song, but I can tell you if it's a good song or not. Your stage presence. Are you boring? Are you doing nothing? Are you doing too much to cover up the fact that your band actually sucks? That's what I was going in with. And the winner of the competition, now I wasn't the only judge, but the winner of the competition was a band called Summer Fling, and they were showmen, but they were also very good. And they have, I cannot give you a genre that they would fall under. It's like pop rock with a little brass. They had 2 trumpets and a saxophone player. They had keys, they had guitar, they had bass. The lead singer was a complete madman. Loved them. They were all wearing fairy wings and halos. I really liked what they were all about. They had energy. They had a vibe. Little kooky. Dig it. It's rock and roll, baby. Then in second place, and if they're listening, well, hold on. Let me finish before you get offended. They were really cheesy. It was like a wedding band. It was when they first started, I was like, this group would be great on a Carnival cruise ship, which sounds like an insult, and I don't mean it to be, but you know what I mean when I say that. It was like an R&B soul yacht rock. Two lead singers, two female singers who have tremendous vocals, and then a backing band that was extremely tight, and a keyboard player that was really just kind of driving the whole thing. And like I said, I started watching them and I'm listening and I'm tapping my toe, enjoying them. A little cheesy, but whatever. What are you going to do? And then by the end of it, I'm like, I can't stop thinking about this band. They were being different definitely helps. A lot of punk, a lot of rock, a lot of emo throughout the competition. So someone that comes out a little bit different is going to stay more memorable. But I really wanted to get my hands on them and just be like, I want to produce a song for you. We're going to make it into yacht rock. Maybe it's because I just watched an awesome yacht rock documentary or what, but they were really good. And I believe they have potential to move forward if they go down the right path. But hey, what do I know? And then the third place band, I actually thought could have won the whole thing. It was a local band called the Gold Stars for Everyone. And they were like pop punk emo-ish. And, they were really good, weren't too overly showy, but very tight with the music. The reason why I like them so much, if you were going to give me money and say, invest in one of these bands, which band do you think is going to make it? Now, I know there's multiple definitions of what make it means, but which band do you think is going to have a top 40 hit or going to be on the radio or make it into some sort of popularity? Anything like that, it would have been that band because they just had that sound. They were really good songwriters. And then there were so many other bands that I really, really liked, but man, it just got too much, too many good bands. By the end of it, I was like, man, I hope this band sucks so I can just like kind of move on. And they just kept getting better and better and better. But anyway, it was a tremendous showing. What a fantastic weekend. And next year, I think we're actually going to do it again this summer at Murphy's here in Astoria, Queens. So stay tuned. Maybe we'll get the Nick Angelo show sponsor the whole thing. And maybe we'll come to you live. I don't know. We got until the summer. Let me get through the winter first. Get off my back. I'm going to play some music, and when we get back, I'm going to talk pro wrestling.
The city's scared if it's too tight. In the late hot summer sweat, the kids come looking for a fight. And everywhere the sirens call, and the guards that built these walls are taking bets to watch you fall. But in the underground there are no names, just a kick drum, heartbeat pounding insane on strangers' lips and in our veins. We grind out the freedom without chains. It's the friction. Come closer to me. Can I breathe you? I need you. Come closer to me. Do you know what you do? It's the friction. Come closer to me. Can I breathe you? I need you. Come closer to me. Do you know what you do? It's the friction. Static sparks across the wires, and the wind blows in from elsewhere, catching embers of desire. But the flames are in our hearts, and the longing floods the circuit. We peel our masks off in the dark. But in the underground there are no names, just a kick drum, heartbeat pounding insane on strangers' lips and in our veins. We grind out the freedom without chains. It's the friction. Come closer to me. Can I breathe you? I need you.
Alrighty, folks, it is that time of the episode that I start talking pro wrestling. So for those who bow out, I bid you adieu. For those who stick around, it is Survivor Series WarGames weekend. Thank goodness that Survivor Series has adopted the WarGames, by the way. Survivor Series used to be really cool because it was like you could team up all these guys and it was like faction versus faction. And then it just kind of turned into Survivor Series is always the worst of the big four, in my opinion. And then, what was it, a couple years ago, they adapted WarGames into Survivor Series, which makes a ton of sense. They were doing it at NXT, and they moved it up to the main roster, and now Survivor Series WarGames. It makes a ton of sense, and I'm for it. I'm glad. I'm also glad that the card is only 4 matches long, I think. You have the Women's Championship with Stephanie Vaquer. And am I saying her name right? I don't think I am. But anyway, she's fighting Nikki Bella, which, okay. Look, you need matches like this to help a champion become a fighting champion that defends their gold. You can't have a number one contender be the next champion. You need to have some sort of longevity. So this Nikki Bella thing, I think, is fine. Unless she wins, then I'm going to really have some questions, but I think we all know who's going to win, and that should be the match that actually that's not going to open. I was going to say that's going to be the match that opens, but I think the Intercontinental Champion, I think they're going to open with Cena. I think that makes sense. That's a good way to open. Or maybe they open with the Women's WarGames. I don't know. Here we are. Why am I thinking on air live? But anyway, let's move on to the match. Cena defending the Intercontinental Championship against Dominic Mysterio in Dominic's hometown. I'm wondering if he's going to get booed or not. He's got the gift, man. They keep saying that about him. The Rey Mysterio love letter to Eddie about how the worse he behaves, the more they cheer. Big Dominic Mysterio fan. I love him as a heel. I think this is a great way to help get him over. He doesn't need it, but just kind of the more ammunition you can give this guy for a future long run as a heel, have him beat Cena get the Intercontinental Championship back. Cena can't retire with the IC belt. That's not going to happen. Have Dominic win in his hometown, Cena's last big pay-per-view. I wonder if something weird happens here, but I don't know. I doubt it. I think Dominic just beats him straight up. And then maybe we find out a little bit more of who is going to fight Cena in his last match. I know they're doing the tournament, but I don't know how that's going, to be honest with you. I was excited about it, and I feel like everyone's just kind of lost. It's like no one really cares. Now, keep in mind, I am recording this Friday morning, so who knows what happens on SmackDown. Every time I do this, every single time I say, I don't imagine anything major is going to happen 24 hours before the pay-per-view, but a lot of times I'm wrong when I say that. So we'll see what happens at SmackDown, but I got a feeling that nothing's going to major happen, and maybe this is me being a complete maniac. Edge does show up tonight and has his moment with Cena. I think everybody wants it, except for Tony Khan. But I've said this till I was blue in the face. If you're Tony Khan, this is a great opportunity to show that you're a wrestling fan and that you're down. This isn't like, hey, I'm going to borrow your talent for some weird angle I'm doing that I can bury everybody. This is a legend Hall of Famer having a moment with the greatest of all time on his way out, putting them together for one last magic moment, and then having that guy come back to your company. I mean, how do you not do that? You don't lose unless you have an ego so bigger than your paycheck, which might be the case, but I don't see how that can go wrong. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think we're all in agreement that Cena's going to drop the chip to Dominic. I don't see Cena having any sort of championship on his way out, right? I think that ship has sailed. Then you got the Women's WarGames, which is a star-studded event. Team Ripley versus Team, what are they calling it? Team Becky, I don't know. It's the best women wrestling on one match, except for Nia Jax, of course. I mean, AJ Lee's in it. Becky Lynch is in it. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. Like, I don't know how I think this is just a good old fashioned awesome War Games match. No tricks, no surprises, nothing that's going to be a game changing in the theatrics of I think this is just a way to have a awesome women's match, because everyone in this match can go and work hard and put each other over. The only thing I see that could potentially happen is the Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair relationship does something odd, but that's working. So keep that going. Or Io Sky turns her back and joins the other two, Asuka and what's her name? Why can't I think of her name right now? I'm looking at a picture of her right now. Kairi Singh, the pirate princess. I mean, Damage Control could get back together, maybe. I don't know. The Kabuki Warriors, whatever they want to call themselves. But I don't think that's going to happen either. But also, the storylines that all these women are having, they are starting to kind of run dry a little bit. I would love to see Rhea Ripley kind of get a new adversary, if you will, you know? Maybe Rhea and Becky. That would be something. They haven't really done anything yet, right? I mean, Rhea and Charlotte, of course, and then Rhea and Io Sky. That's been a really good one too, but nothing really with Becky and Rhea. That could be fun. AJ Lee's kind of just here for the pop. I mean, she's not going to carry on a career, right? So we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. But then you have I have to assume, main event. You can't have all these stars in one match and not let this be the main event. And we're all pretty much also in an agreement. This is what I like going into a pay-per-view like this, or I'm sorry, premium live event, that we all kind of know where it's going to go. Usually something crazy happens. But we're all in agreement that the Vision's going to win this. Makes more sense. The Vision is getting over on their own. You got to keep them as your main faction of heels. Maybe Drew McIntyre sticks around with them. Maybe Brock comes and goes. Although the Brock and Cena thing, did I miss that? Did I miss an episode of SmackDown or something where that came to a conclusion? But over on the other team, you have Punk and Roman and Cody all kind of arguing on who is the captain of this team. All of them want the championships. And then you got the Usos. They've been teasing the Jay heel turn for a while. I think Jimmy's just there to round it out. No offense. I mean, I think this is what I want to have happen so badly. And you already know what I'm going to say. Unify the belt, please. Have a triple threat. Have a four-way. Add Brock into that. Put in McIntyre. I don't care. Punk, Reigns, Cody, invite whoever else you want. And that is the unification at WrestleMania main event. That would be iconic. But hey, what do I know? We're going to find out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to War Games. Someone will ask me, hey, can you start covering AEW again? Okay. Eddie Kingston gave a really good promo. But, I mean, how many times are we going to do this act? He's so sad in his life, and he doesn't know if he's going to live or die because of what goes on upstairs in his head. But when he's in the ring, he finds peace, and this and that. And I love pro wrestling. And if you chant you love me, that means you love pro wrestling. And come December 10th, winter's coming, Samoa Joe. Like, that's not a shoot. Just because you're a prick when you say things doesn't make it a shoot. It's still a work. And if it's not, then I'm getting kind of tired of the gimmick. Getting a little tired of the whole, it's the same thing over and over again. And I like Eddie Kingston, and I still do. I'm not saying that, but it's like people are going nuts over this promo he gave. Why? Because they act like it's a shoot. They act like it's coming from the heart. I mean, that's the guy he is. That's the character he has created. And I'm sure they're not far from each other in reality, but that's who he is as a wrestler. Comes out and speaks the truth. That's his gimmick. If he is pro wrestling and he loves pro wrestling so much, then I don't know, man. Go to the gym a little bit more. Take care of yourself, because then you're taking care of pro wrestling. I know that's a shitty thing for me to say, especially, coming from a guy who probably should get into the gym himself. But come on. You know what I mean. He stinks in the ring. He's boring as hell. He's pro wrestling. He's a nice little flavor of pro wrestling. I enjoy him. Come on. I will tell you this, the fact that I've just said negative things about Eddie Kingston, and I'm a little worried he might hear this, that will tell you how much I do like him, though. That gives you a little bit, he's real. Whether it's a gimmick or not, he's still real, and I still wouldn't want to piss him off. I know that to be true. He may not be as intense and as a prick in real life, but he certainly ain't a nice guy that you want to get upset. So, Eddie, if you're listening, we can all do better. How about that? New Year's is almost here. Maybe we'll get a resolution together, right? Anyway, that's it. I'm going to get ready to watch football, watch wrestling. What a great time of year. Next week, we'll talk way more about Stranger Things. I'll give you a recap of WarGames, see if Edge shows up. Don't get your hopes up, but maybe. That's why we watch. So until then, peace. I'm out of here.
Waves of hay run through these eyes. Such mistakes, stand no wasting time. You got your flaws and I got mine. The only difference is those eyes won't subside. I walk through the hall, see the mess you left. I thought you left me broken, but I was just meant. So you say state affects the line between sleep and staying up at night. No one's perfect and I can see I'm not close and you will never be. Never wanna see your face again. Farewell, good luck in the end. So you say you say